What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And earlier this morning I posted a video on the fact that the rock and roll shotgun was on sale at the Countdown vendor, and we also have the Reanimated global event that began today as well. So I really wanted to highlight a build that really showed how much fun this weapon is to use, especially with this global event going on, as I know a lot of you have been trying to get this thing for a very long time. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And remember, we are currently having a giveaway for a PlayStation 5. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on October 2nd of this year. Now, this build video is going to be a little bit different, as I want to initially show you where you can get the weapon, because a lot of people do not know this vendor even exists. After that, I'll do the build breakdown, and then at the end of the video, I will show you some footage of the build in action. Now, you can see here, this is the version of the rock and roll that the Countdown vendor has for sale this week, and if I were to pick this up, I would re-roll the bottom attribute to damage to targets out of cover, and then just optimize the shotgun damage. Now, my friends, we're going to jump into the build, and at the end of that, I'll show you footage and go over a few things as well. So starting off as always with the specialization, I'm using Technician, and that is for the sole purpose of that linked laser pointer, because that is going to pulse every single enemy that I target. And we all know in this game you can pulse enemies different ways. You can use a drone, you can use a Banshee pulse. So remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, always make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you get a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you have equipped. Obviously, my primary weapon for this build is the rock and roll shotgun. It's just a lot of fun to use, and you know, the bonus on it is you get extra ammo in the clip, which is a lot of fun. And if you don't have it, you can use an ACS-12, which means you could also put a talent on the weapon. And what's really great about those shotguns is you can equip that linked laser pointer to either of them, which means every single enemy you target is going to be pulsed, and that comes into play with a talent on our chest and our gear set as well. The secondary weapon is the Heartbreaker assault rifle. Love this weapon, and again, you can equip that linked laser pointer. It also has the talent Perfect Flatline, which is going to amplify your weapon damage to pulsed enemies by 20%. And you know, if you want to use this as your primary weapon, that's totally fine as well. For me, with this global event, I just happen to love using the automatic shotgun. As far as your handgun goes, put whatever you want there. I personally do not touch it when I'm running this build. Now into the gear itself, you can see I'm running 4 Heartbreaker, 1 Badger Tough, and 1 Overlord. Starting off with the mask, it's the first of 4 pieces of the Heartbreaker gear set. We're running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. You can see a 2-piece is 15% assault rifle and LMG damage, 3-piece is 15% weapon handling, and 4 pieces Heartstopper. Headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds. Weapon hits on pulsed enemies add a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulse enemies up to a max of 50 stacks. And once again, because we have that linked laser pointer equipped, we are always hitting pulsed enemies, which means we are always getting those bonuses. Moving on to the body armor, it's the 1 piece of Badger Tough, so we get that extra 10% shotgun damage, and I'm using the Talon Spotter, which amplifies total weapon and skill damage by 15% to pulsed enemies as well. Next, we have the holster, which is the second piece of the Heartbreaker gear set, and pretty much on all of these pieces, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage. Moving on to the knee pads, I'm using Fox's Prayer because of that middle attribute. That 8% damage to targets out of cover really helps take out any enemies. Moving on to the gloves, they are the third piece of the Heartbreaker gear set, and once again, trying to stack either crit hit chance or crit hit damage, and that may vary depending on what gear you have. And finally, my friends, we make it to the backpack, and this is one of those pieces where you have a lot of options to choose from. You can run with the Memento, and if so, you're going to switch your knee pads to that 4th piece of Heartbreaker. I'm using the Heartbreaker bag because with that, it's going to increase my total bonus armor per stack from 1% to 2%. Now, as far as your skills go, that's completely up to you. I'm using my 2 favorite. I'm using the Crusader Shield in case things get sideways, and I'm also using the Assault Drone because it is a great distraction to NPC and puts out damage as well. And remember, with a talent on our chest, we're getting that extra 15% weapon and skill damage, so that definitely does help out. Now, one thing I want to make sure I mention before we go into any footage whatsoever is I want to remind especially new and returning players, make sure you turn the global event on, because if you don't, you're not going to earn any stars whatsoever from either completing the challenges or getting shade levels. Now, tomorrow morning I'll be posting a video on tips and tricks in regard to this event. You know, there are a lot of different things you need to get used to. First of all, you can see here, it's abundantly clear when you hit those headshots headshots. And when you take out an NPC and let's say you don't kill them with a headshot, you'll see them on the ground. They'll start to, tweak out a little bit, get all green and electrified. Then they pop back up. And once you kill them a second time, they cannot reanimate. But again, the entire point of this is to hit them in the dome, because when you do, you saw that cloud, it's going to give you some extra health. So that's what you want to aim for, my friends. And as I said a second ago, tomorrow I'll be going over a bunch of different things you can focus on during the event, how to maximize your gameplay, how to gain as many stars as possible, what places to hit up, how to farm for XP, and as always, if you have any other questions, please let me know in the section down below. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family we have at the channel. So as always, if you have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to try to help out as many people as we can. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Detecting additional